Have you pressed the go live button now?
I have. Go on.
Makes a change.
Shake your face. Get
Hello,
started.
and welcome to my live stream that I've not done in a long time. It's been really long. So hopefully you can all hear and understand what I'm saying. Can't guarantee it, but hey ho.
Yeah, it's a bit more manly now.
Huh?
So it's a bit more manly now.
What looks? Huh?
Because you have my Friday gem purple of femaleness going around you both. But cutting that might be a bit more masculine for you both.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Could be
Look
one
at
of
that. It's a brand new mat too.
Yeah. Not even a scratch on it. And hello and welcome to you, Kaylin.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm living the dream.
Yeah.
I'm multitasking at the moment. I'm doing this and I'm also trying to, I don't want videos, find the instructions for my Tirpitz because I've lost a sheet of the instructions.
I wonder if they're available on ScaleMates.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Let's go ScaleMates. I also have. Sorry.
No, the only problem I have with that is I don't have a printer, so I can never print anything.
Yeah, I could probably actually do that. Can't I?
What?
Print it off my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I have my lovely assistant with me.
What you after?
Well. I'm not after anything. Why would I be after anything? Instructions. Oh, well, that's interesting.
Right, while you're trying to multitask, I'm going to quickly go through because we have some people in chat and one that's trying to get a virtual clip around the ear. So we have Mark Shellard saying, "Evening, Lewis."
Evening, Mark. How are you?
And hi to Kaylin.
Hi, Mark. And Mark's Mods. Hi, how are you?
Mark's Mods, Kaylin's beat me to it. Good evening, Lewis and Kaylin.
Evening, Mark. We've got Mark and Mark.
And 3 marks.
3 marks.
There are 3 marks. Wow.
And Mark at Edinburgh Modelling Man Cave saying hello all and a happy new year.
Hello, Mark, and happy new year to you too, buddy. Hope you're keeping well and another year full of builds coming up from you. Like 20,000 million builds it builds in a year.
And the virtual clip round the ear to Mark Shellard. About time Lewis took his rightful place. Move over, Nat. Good evening, Mark. Always a pleasure to see you.
It is. Yeah, I can't do many streams and things like that purely because work and crash and everything else because I have a lot of commitments and I don't like to stand on Nat's toes.
The nice thing is you have a lovely bench assistant. I don't.
Well, I have a bench assistant.
Play nice.
Oh yeah, I thought that was quite nice.
You managed to find the instructions?
I found the instructions for the kit, but it's the photo etch I want.
Oh, yeah.
So who was the instructions by Edward?
No, I think
Or was it Pontos?
Is Pontos. I think.
Right, well, why don't you do what you can, because surely there's some bits you can do, and I shall use everyone's favourite friend, that is Google.
Yeah, did they not have the photo etch on ScaleMates either?
I'm just having a look. Oh no, that's the wooden deck. They've got it for the Tamiya.
So Lewis is going to have to cover his ears for a second while I tell people what I'm going to be working on. It is the 1700 by Trumpeter New Orleans, the USS New Orleans. So that's what I'm going to be working on right now, just because it'll be a fun kit. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and so it'll be fun just to put it together and see what it looks like.
Sorry, I didn't quite understand one bit. They don't do 1700 in ships.
No, it's a toy. I bet it floats too. But what's funny is, so I've never built one of these 1700 kits before, but you get these. So you get two parts to the hull, I guess, if you want to do like a waterline version, which I don't know. I've never understood that. And then you get a couple of different pieces. You get the decking and then some flat bit if you want to do the waterline version of it. But it should be interesting.
It's 1700. I can't comprehend that. It's that must be a new scale they've just decided to bring out.
It must be.
I think if you ask Nat, that would be the size that she wants me to do.
Got it in one.
Yeah. The nice thing about this is it's kind of what I had in mind, and it's proving to be harder to find than I thought it would be. But I wanted to do a 1/700 scale diorama of Pearl Harbor the day of the morning before everything happened, and I can find a couple of the ships in 1/700, but I'm having trouble finding. I've got a list here actually of all the ships that were docked that morning, and let's see if I can find it here in my. I put it in a certain spot in my notebook here, and it's funny because there's a couple. You can use a couple of kits to make that that were similar to other ships that were parked there just by class, but those are kind of hard to find now. And here we go. So the Arizona obviously is pretty easy to get because I think they did a 1/700. The Oklahoma I need to do more research on. The West Virginia I thought I had found it. The California, I believe I found that one. The Nevada, no idea. So I got to research that. Then also the Maryland was in port. The Pennsylvania, the Tennessee, the Missouri, which they do. I think that one I did find. But then there's the last two were the USS Helm and the USS Utah. And the Helm, I've been told there's a kit of another vessel that matches the Helm sort of. And then the Utah was actually sort of, there's no kit for the Utah, but it was a ship that had been decommissioned after World War I. And it was actually, I can't remember if it had officially been decommissioned, but they were able to get a few shots off of the people that were working on it at that during the day. Were able to actually get some rounds off, from my understanding. And so it did serve a part during Pearl Harbor. So even though it was technically being decommissioned. And then the aircraft are easy. I can find plenty of aircraft.
Do you know that diorama, if you can pull it off, get all the ships and whatnot, that will be impressive.
Yeah.
It will be even more impressive in like a proper scale, like 1/350.
1/350 would be massive. But I think 1/350 would be easier to do because I'd be able to actually find those ships.
You maybe. I don't know. It's like because into the Pennsylvania, that's the sister ship to Arizona.
Yes.
Yeah. So you'll be able to convert. If you got the Arizona in 1350, you'd probably be able to convert that into the Pennsylvania. But I think things like the Utah, you might run into similar, like finding the actual model in 1350. But it would be, I'm looking forward to actually doing it. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, I think it would be cool. And the buildings, I think the most part, like the buildings I can do mostly scratch built, and the vehicles on the ground, I'm trying to sort that one out because trying to match that scale will be difficult. But
yeah.
Just quickly.
Stuart Tucker was, okay. That's on.
Stuart Tucker's in, so good evening.
Evening, Stuart.
And he says it's got the PE manual near the bottom.
PE manual near the bottom. I would say that on scale mates. Failing that, I'll have to build the mast. I'm actually looking for a lighter.
I'll have a look in the drawer in a minute.
Yeah, so with this one, I've not actually done that much to it, so she's really dusty.
Is all of that PE for the?
Yeah, so that's got all PE stuck to it, round it, on it, and that's the top of the funnel. Again, I don't know. There you go. Photo etch stuck in it. That is all photo etch. There's like little ribs in there that's had to be stuck in. So little, if I can hold it, little ribs just on the edge of the bulkhead walls on the inside that are tiny, and then a bit more railings, foot plate side there that's actually coming off. But I started when I started this kit, I hadn't discovered soldering, so these is all stuck together, so that's all just glued together, that bit. But I'm going to actually start soldering and doing it properly how I've learnt with the solder iron.
Does it get a much cleaner attachment point?
Yeah, so it's cleaner, it's stronger. You can clean it up even more after with a file, either a sanding stick or a metal file. So it just makes it look a bit nicer, in my opinion, because I'm not very clean with glue, shall we say. It can be a bit messy.
Sorry guys, can I just quickly jump in? Stuart Tucker has put link included scroll up. Can you're throwing, sorry, I'm really confused, Stuart, where this link is, because if you've tried to put it in the chat, only mods can, if that's what you mean. Link included, scroll up. So if you've tried to put the link in the chat, could you please either message myself, or probably Lewis will be easier for yourself, because I can access Lewis's messages, and we'll see if we can get it found. Please?
Can you? Can you?
What?
Access my messages?
Yeah. And your emails.
Oh God. Can't do anything then, can I?
quick. Mark's mod is just at my bench painting by Hachette. So he's just at the bench painting his Hachette Titanic whilst listening to you guys.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing that all painted up.
Oh, I bet it's going to look good.
Yeah.
And we've also got Jay's channeling saying, "Hi everyone. Hope everyone is okay and well."
Evening, Jay. We're just having a what's the word? Search for.
I've had a look on Stalemates and I couldn't find anything.
Here, let me see if I can find.
I've just gone on to Revel and it's showing me trumpeters. Trumpeters, German Bismarck.
So it's the Tirpitz, right?
Yeah.
Which is it? The trumpeter?
No, it's the Revel.
Revel. I wonder if he found it under. Let's see, 1 through 50.
What one is it?
No, that's the colour paint guide.
Right. Just checking.
I'm going to see if I can do this real quick.
And we've also got Johnny in saying, "Afternoon, peeps."
Evening, Johnny. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
Oh, has Kaylin come to the rescue?
So let's see. Instructions, I'll download those. And
Oh, look at that. Kaylin to the rescue.
Yeah, that's the kit instructions. That's them ones.
Oh.
What page was it on?
It was the front cover for the photo etch.
So it's probably all the way down at the bottom.
Let me. Was that Stalemates?
Yeah, it's Scalemates, just under the Revel 350 scale.
Let's have a look.
Because I'm not familiar with how Revel does theirs. Because some of the kits, like the Edward, they post the PE instructions in the manual as you're building it. So these ones must be. You said it was on page 2, I thought.
Yeah, so it's basically them instructions is that one, and then you get separate instructions for the photo etch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't see those here.
No.
So
I think
because it doesn't even show the photo etch on that. So let me.
I've just got your message. Thank you, Stuart.
Did Stuart send it?
He did, but unfortunately, it's.
Oh no, it's not. It's that.
Is it actually the photo etch one?
Yep.
It's the whole lot with the P at the bottom.
Yep.
Oh, Stuart Tucker, you are a gem.
I think I found it too.
Right, so which one are you missing? I'll print it off.
Is this what it is on the screen?
Looks it.
Okay. Yeah, so he sent you the file then, so you should have it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that one and that one, but it's in A3 size.
So it's going to take up loads of paper. Hang on.
Yeah.
So I need, what page is it? Page
33 and 34.
33, 34. Thank you, Stuart. Thank you, Kaylin.
Yeah.
Everyone's an absolute lifesaver.
Oh, yes.
So I will quit sharing my screen.
Thank you. Right.
I know, thank goodness for Scalemates.
So my assistant's just going to go turn the print on.
You need to chat while I do this. Unless Kaylin.
Yeah, I can.
So
I can certainly do
we're at Johnny.
Where'd you get to, Nat?
Johnny.
Johnny, the Hey Mark one or
Afternoon peeps.
Afternoon Peeps? That one. Afternoon, Johnny. And then we have Jay saying, been busy today, sorting my flat out, ready for my move, hopefully. Ooh. All like moves. And then Mark and John is saying hello to each other. And we have Eric, Twisted Rail Hobbies in, saying, evening everyone, just popped in and saying hi. Hi, Eric. And we've got Dave from Northern Model Builders and Crafters saying, hi guys, just busy with yet another 112 scale Route Master that's going to be painted into South End Transport. Ooh. And Stuart saying, you're welcome. Yes, thank you very much. That has been a lifesaver for Nat anyway, because it means she doesn't have to go hunting around for the sheep.
You know, you'll find it after the stream.
Yeah, it'll turn up now. You're like, oh, that's where I put it. So I'm going to have a go at building the main mast, hopefully.
So I'm going to switch over to the workbench.
Do you know what I did forget to do?
What's that?
Forgot to post the link in the Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Would you even know how to do it?
I did it for yours.
I thought Kaylin did it.
No, I did it. So you're welcome, Nat.
I've done it. I don't know if it's going to be too small for you. See the pages?
Yes.
Can you actually read them?
No.
Right.
I don't need that one though.
Which one?
How do you get it to post to both of your channels when you do that?
So with StreamYard, you can post to three different destinations, and we post it to ours and one on Facebook, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Ordinarily, yeah, I've only done it to your channel and Facebook.
Oh, you're not done it on yours?
Why is this not?
I don't know. Why what? Yeah, no.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Need some ink in the printer as well.
Not much, do you?
No.
Just page 34.
What?
Just page 34.
What about 34?
The second page, you want redoing a bit bigger.
No.
Once it was a bit small.
No, the first one was small, but the second one. But even I can read that.
You're getting a bit old.
I'm going to belt you. My little girl, Paige, she's what was I doing yesterday? I was doing summers, and it's like, oh god. She goes, Daddy, you're getting old. It's like, you're going to get a small bum, isn't it? No, not literally. I wouldn't smack a bum.
Was she commenting on your gray showing up?
I don't have any greys. Full head of black hair, mate.
My wife's getting she's starting to get more gray than I am, and she's younger than I am.
See, Nat's hair's just falling out.
That seems to be a common thing when you get older for some reason.
There you go, Kaylin, saying you're old.
I'm younger than both of you too, thank you very much.
That's true.
You're not younger than me. 21.
You wish.
I'll do your job then, Nat.
Yeah, please.
Can't get the staff log. So Crafty Chris is in. Hello, Chris. Saying hi, Lewis, Nat, and White Glove Models.
Good evening, Chris.
So what's everyone working on? Come on, let us know what you're doing. Give us some feedback.
Hopefully you're a bit saner than Lewis doing teeny tiny photo etch.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, cut over my.
I just love returning to live streams doing photo etch.
Yeah, I don't know whether doing the Mast was the best idea.
Yeah.
So DR9, that's that one. Main top mast. There we go. Center. So I want BR14.
Okay, that's sorted.
No.
Good.
Did it come with metal rod for the mast?
Yeah. That's the top of it.
Wow. Yeah, that's one thing I need to pick up is some of the evergreen styrene and then some of the metal rods, the brass rods.
Yeah.
And then what kind of solder do you use?
Pass.
Because there's like, I guess there's different kinds of solder. There's some with like the resin in it.
Well, I don't think yours is that fancy.
Yeah, this one has flux. It's 2.2% flux.
Correct. Yeah.
But it's a really thin
Wire.
solder. Yeah.
Okay.
Because all I need is a really small amount. But the thing I learned with it is when you buy the tips, brilliant, fantastic. Now, I've not really done any soldering. I've not done any soldering at all.
Mm-hmm.
So you got your solder iron tip. Well, my best advice would be to purchase two things. One's this, so it's steel wire for cleaning the tip, solder iron tip, and then tip tinner. So once you've finished doing your soldering at the end of your solder session, switch it off, clean the tip in the wire, clean it off with the damp sponge, and then while it's off, just dip it in the tinner. Just push it in the tinner and it'll basically cover it in silver tin again, and it'll keep it nice and fresh and working. Without that, you go through so many tips, it's unreal.
So that just kind of cleans it off, and then
yeah. So once you clean it off and whatnot, it puts the tin back onto it. So next time you come to it, it works perfectly fine.
Okay.
this one?
Yeah, I've like with the little metal earth kits. I wonder if you soldered or soldered some of those, if it would be better instead of using the little tips and twist the little tabs and twisting them.
Yeah, I've only ever made one.
Me too.
Yeah, it was a Lancaster I made, and I don't know whether I enjoyed it or what.
Yeah.
I think the jury's still out for me personally on that one.
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised. So you know what? It's kind of it's missing a wing right now because that one keeps falling off. I need to glue it or something. The tail wing, but I think not positive. I think this is the F15 or F14. I think, and it was just kind of a fun little. It took me about 3 hours to build, and it was something different. And yeah, the jury's still out because it was a fiddly thing to build, and
yeah,
but it's nice just to have a little
practice.
Yeah, for especially for photo etch because things are going to get smaller.
Yeah.
as you know.
Oh yes. I'm trying to find this bit.
And the hind, when I build the hind from Edward, that is actually going to be the first cockpit that I've ever done, and I like how the cockpit photo etch looks because it's their color cockpit photo etch.
Yeah, pre-painted.
Yeah, and so it has 2 different parts, and then I'm kind of curious how it's going. I'm going to watch a few videos on people that have done it just to see if you want to put just to kind of make things pop a little bit if they put like a clear coat on the consoles and things like that.
Yeah.
But it looks pretty cool. I can't wait to kind of start putting all that together.
Yeah, I mean that is it the F16 Super Hornet I did? The 48-hour build. It had painted photo etch in the cockpit, which is what drew me to that because half the work's done for me.
Yeah.
They weren't as simple as what I thought.
You took on a bit more when you could chew for that 48-hour build.
Yeah.
But you got it done though, didn't you? In the 48 hours?
I did.
See, that's amazing.
I mean, now it's residing in the bin somewhere.
Yeah.
I got rid of it because I just weren't happy with it. And me being primarily a ship builder, I didn't really have the interest in going back to it to complete it or finish it off or readjust it or anything like that. So it's like I let Connor and Paige play with it, and then once they got bored and trashed it and whatnot, it just went.
Two comments. 2 quick comments. Crafty Chris, I'm working on my Eddie Stobart, but didn't stream last week as didn't get my issues. I'll be back on it Tuesday. Yes, I can share your frustration, Chris, on that one. Literally, I was watching the postman. It's like, come on, bring it, please.
Have you been having issues with them delivering or sending those out?
A bit of both. Because we didn't receive it before Christmas, then because obviously our posties, they had 4 days off over Christmas and 3 days off over New Year. So it's just letting them get through all that massive backlog.
That's true.
You're a bit nicer than me, though. I was
Yeah.
ready to be having words.
At least it's the post and not is it Hatchet that's doing it
Yeah.
or okay, yeah. I've heard that they've actually been doing a little better regarding customer service.
It tends to be very hit and miss because I did my first thing I did with Hachette. I did the world of art of cross stitch.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't actually finish the collection because it just got to the point where I just got fed up with issues going missing, the quality, all this and that. So when I started my Peter Rabbit quilt, it was a bit of a gamble, like, oh God, I hope to God it's better.
Yeah.
Touch wood it was, I think, so far, I think the only issue I've had is one of the templates has been wrong. But customer service wise, touch wood, I haven't really had any issues with it. And same with up to now, the Stobarts, I think it's very hit and miss. I know you had issues, didn't you, with your Bismarck?
I won't do another part work.
Yeah, I heard a lot about the Bismarck with them, and then Agora Models has been surprisingly like probably the best company to work for. But what's funny is my understanding was Agora used to be Hachette or something. I don't know. But the one that I have the biggest issue with is Eagle Moss, and like I haven't received a Ecto 1 for it was like 3 or 4 months, and then I ended up putting it on hold anyway. And so what people have been saying, and then also the Enterprise was I was stalled on for some reason. They weren't sending those out, but I kept getting the Eleanor, and then they would send me the wrong parts for Eleanor or this or that, and so over Christmas I put everything on hold, and so I was debating if I'm going to continue with them or not. I really would like to finish the Ecto 1 just because people have said it's a nice kit, but I've had some issues with it. The chrome on it looks really cheap. Just a lot of things that for when you're paying that much money, it just doesn't seem to be the best quality.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know you're not going to find another Ecto 1 like that, but I would rather spend the time and money on a 1/24th scale Ecto 1 and make it the way that I want it.
Yeah, I mean, a big thing that I've taken out from the part works is that they have moving parts, moving the lights work, sounds, things like that, which is great, fantastic.
Yeah.
And it takes some skill to put it all together and to know about the electronics and things like that. But it's also ideal for a beginner as well. And to me, I would rather have something that's focuses more on the detail rather than like with the Bismarck, the turrets firing and this, that, and the other. Although it is quite nice. I've not done it today.
So Mark Mods, he had posted the owner of Agora used to work for Model Space. So see, that's where I'm confused because I thought Model Space was Hachette.
See, I thought Model Space was D'Agostini.
Maybe, okay. Yeah, there's so many, I guess. Yeah, it's confusing.
There's just one thing I've got to do, Kaylin.
Oh, God, go on, you big child. And on that childish note, Lewis, don't be rude. DS Models and Vintage has put,
That's Dave.
thank you, working on said Route Master ×2, then Eddie Stobart. Then when it arrives, Titanic, which is going to be Olympic. Then 1/35 Tamiya Austin Tilly for my Lank diorama. Then got
That Lank
4
diorama.
Her Bedford wagons.
Yep.
So you've only got a couple of things to do, Dave.
So Dave is doing, isn't he doing the blue? He's doing a blue Route Master too, right?
Pass. I think so.
That
sort of put me on the spot.
Just a bit.
I could have swore he said in his in one of his last videos he was going to be building a blue one, which I'm wondering, and I meant to ask him about it. Are they sending it to him blue, Dave, or are they sending it to you blue, or do you have to paint it blue?
I imagine if it's a Route Master, it'll be red, won't it?
Yeah, unless they're gonna put out 2 different versions of it, which is possible, I guess. And he's like the test run.
Possibly. And Mark's Mods, I am awaiting my issues from Eagle Moss on the wooden Titanic.
Now I can remember starting a wooden Titanic years ago, but it got a bit too expensive for me. So that's when I was just left college. That was years ago.
That was only a couple years ago, Lewis. That was,
yeah.
I mean, like 2 or 3 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I
wish.
I know, that's what. Gosh, because like college days, man, it's hard for me to understand where all the years have gone.
Yeah, and I feel your pain.
Mark Shellard, sounds like Nat still has wind.
She's always got wind.
Thanks, Mark. And Dave, yep, blue and a red one. I have to paint it blue and mod it.
Oh, okay, that would make sense.
Blue Route Master.
Yeah, I guess the blue one, I don't know, I could be wrong. Dave can correct me, but the blue one was like a show or a special show model or something for one of, or it was a different area that was using the blue one. He talks about it on his channel, and it seemed really interesting. So I wish I could build the Route Master right now, but there's no way I can add another build to what I'm working on.
I know that feeling. I asked Nat if I could do a group build.
Here we go.
And she said no, because you're not buying any more models. So well, no, I've got the model that I need. You know, I've got a model that'll fit into it. She goes, yeah, right. Obviously, typical woman doesn't believe a word I say. But I'm actually going to use this one for the Shelf Queen group build on Hobby Link International.
Yeah.
If
I was thinking you have 2 years to build it, I think, or is this the last year?
2 years, 22 to 24.
Okay, so Kenny had modified it.
Yeah. It'd probably take me that long just to work the instructions out. 3, 2, 4.
Trying to avoid getting any glue up on the decking, because this decking is printed in detail, but I don't want any glue on the decking, because that's going to really make it look like crud.
I don't suppose they do like a wooden deck for that, do they? It's the wrong scale.
I looked it up, and there's a company that, I don't know, it's like one of those flea bay type deals where they say, oh, you know, we have the decking for it, but they don't actually list the actual piece. So it says, oh, we have it for this, all of these different ones, and it's I don't want to pursue it if I don't actually know for sure what I'm getting.
That's it. That's like going into your supermarket and saying, I want some really fresh apples, but I'm not going to see them.
Yeah. Yeah, they just hand you a brown bag and hope that it's correct.
Yeah, it's not the leftovers.
Yeah.
Mark's Mods. In February, I will be starting a new show with my eldest son and Horlick's on Arduino projects and how to do them so people can mod their own models.
Do you know, I will be really interested in watching that because I want to do that with my Titanic.
Yeah, Kenny will be mad that I say this because he does not like Arduino, but I want to learn it. And so I will definitely be watching that. That's going to be wonderful.
In non-modeling terms, please, gents.
Arduino is it's
a computer motherboard.
Yeah, so you can put lights into your kits and things like that, and do lighting and all other kinds of fun stuff.
Oh, is that what you was on about, needing to learn coding or something?
Yep.
Yeah. Failing that, I'll send it to my brother.
Apparently, with the Arduino, it's fairly easy to learn and pretty simple. So we shall see. I know the last time I did anything with coding and electronics like to that scale with microchips was in high school, and that was back in 1998. So
last time I did anything with coding, it was to get a game to work on a computer, and it was like DOS dot whatever.
Yep.
Just to play the CD.
And Dave has put, yes, White Glove Models. It was Southend Transport's show bus.
Okay.
They took it to vintage shows. It was also the last route master to work in Essex officially.
That's cool.
I found this piece and I just lost it in there.
Long as you lost it on the sprue.
Yeah. If you can see me head in the picture, sorry.
Yep, you see all the greys.
Rather see my greys than your bald spot.
Bald spot, thank you very much.
No comment.
I might be losing my hair, it's not that bad.
No comment. There we go, 324.
But I have to admit, a model, especially the part works, that I would love to see would be of the Flying Scotsman, but I very much doubt that will happen.
There you go, that's a piece that I have to bend.
Oh my goodness.
Focus.
If we had autofocus,
It's on, hold on.
not autofocus, manual focus.
Hold on.
There we go.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And I've got to bend that twice, I think, maybe 3 or 4 times. Do photo etch, said. It's funny, said.
Did you, Nat, did you get all your diamonds sorted out after you? Were those what you spilled?
No, they're still sat in my tray. I've not quite braved putting them back in yet.
Yeah.
I'll get them all scooped up. It's not too bad. They're still in the case, so to speak. It's just.
Yeah, someone did a live show yesterday, but they never actually did anything that they was meant to do, did they?
I can't imagine why.
Oh, I can't. I'm too busy talking. Typical woman. I'll say it. I don't mind. Ow.
Mark's Mods, there was a part worker for Flying Scotsman a few years ago. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, I'm sure they'll bring one out again eventually. Just hopefully it will be after Stobart's finished.
Yeah, because if it's before, you ain't getting it.
I'll drop Billy Stobart first.
How many issues are there of the Stobart?
I think it's 145.
140.
140, thank you.
Wow. Are you on the 2-year plan?
Yeah, so with Hachette, it's not like Agora or any or the others. It's a weekly thing, so it'll be about 2.5 years, I think. So it's basically you subscribe to it, but you can't change how many times you get it.
Okay.
And Mark Shellard has put drop that and it's gone forever.
Hopefully.
No, in case of Nat, I've dropped it. Come and find it.
Yeah, I've actually got to thread it onto this bar now.
I think he was talking about dropping the Root Master. Because if you I don't know, that's where it's like, I wonder if you put something on hold. You know, a lot of people worry, oh, you're not going to be able to ever get it again or finish it. But I don't know. I've heard mixed things about that. Especially with it becoming more popular now, I think more and more companies are going to carry on producing them and making them.
Yeah, we was on about this the other day, weren't we? Because I think it was the Eddie Hachette's Eddie Stobart Facebook group. And I think someone was on about doing it, but he had too many projects on the go. So again, it was very much similar to that question. Like, if he doesn't do it now, will he be able to do it later on? And I think the general consensus is other companies may pick it up, but there's no guarantee, for example, that Hachette will ever do it again.
Yeah.
Because I know because I was looking, what was I doing? I was still doing my quilt, and they brought out like a Disney cross stitch, which is like, oh wow, I'd have loved to have done. But by the time the quilt was finished, it was too far gone really to start doing the cross stitch. They'd actually stopped sending out the first issues. And when I rung them up to inquire, they did say that they have no plans to redo it. they don't even know if it's going to come back at all.
Wow.
It's like, So, but like you say, Ken, it could just be if something is very popular and a lot of people are asking for it, then there's always that small possibility.
Yeah. Well, it's like the Ferrari F40 that Competizone came out with. They're used so it originally was released at some point, and I know that a company here in the United States, they bought hundreds and hundreds of them and had their builders put them together, and now they're selling the actual car completed model for like $20,000. And so now Competizone came out with the one, but a lot of people are having issues with it. And I don't even know if they're going to continue it, but it's like one of those kits where it's like, yeah, I'd like to get my hands on it. But now that you know that there's issues with it, it's like, I don't know. And I don't even know if the quality is the same.
Yeah, again, like I say, that's an issue, isn't it?
Well, I just realized I made a stupid mistake. Let's see if I can. Oh, I'll be able to get to it, I think.
Oh dear.
It tells you so the instructions are kind of silly. They show you putting the guns on, and then, but of course I put the deck on first, and you're supposed to build the guns and then put them on before you put the deck on. But I guess that's why you read instructions before you do something. Oh well.
Nah, sorry, just go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're such a man. No French colon.
Nobody needs destructions.
Mark's put in chat, Nat, the Disney cross stitch is not great quality. Yeah, I have to admit, I had a sinking feeling it might have been that case, just going on what my art of cross stitch was like, but it's the temptation of Disney, shall we say. Anything
same with
Disney.
the quilt though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who'd you get the quilt through?
Hachette.
Okay.
Oh, you.
What you done?
The head of my pins just popped off.
Right, let's get the solder iron out.
Get ready to stink the house out.
Why am I going to stink the house out?
That solder stinks. Or is it that flux?
It's flux that stinks. Put that one away because I don't need that one. It's a bit overkill. And I'll get my lovely assistant just to get some water on that for me.
You have to wait a minute while I fix my pin.
Is this solder?
I have no idea.
Looks like it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep, that's solder. Oh, that's nice.
So here's see if I can do this.
Let's put your full screen and then.
Yeah, those are the guns for this turret. I have a feeling I'm going to end up breaking those. Just trying to get them off the sprue.
What size guns are they?
It doesn't actually tell me. But they are the main.
They're the main.
They're the two main turrets, yeah. Or it says. That's weird. It says make 3, so there must be 3 on board. Yep, there's 2 up in the bow of the ship, up in the front, and then there's 1 in the rear. Oh man, I just know I'm gonna break this. What's that?
they're the main guns for the Tirpitz.
See, that's an acceptable size.
Yeah, that's 1/350. That's a proper size. 1/700.
I know. I'm gonna hold off on clipping that one off.
I've got a piece of photo etch in my finger there.
In your finger.
Yeah.
Well, they do give you an extra one just in case.
Just in case you're definitely going to ping it off across the room.
Yeah.
Where'd that solder go? There we go. And get the flux, because I like to smell the house out.
Right.
Put it on there.
Dropping the pin now.
You dropped your pin.
Yeah. See that one's just jumper.
Choose that one. There we go.
Really? There we go. There's been a lot of the like Russian bots lately.
The what, sorry?
Oh, for the bots that end up in chat, there's been a lot of the
Oh,
Russian.
Yeah, we've noticed that on my channel, haven't we?
Yeah, I think we've had one on here already, haven't we?
Two.
Yeah, Nat's on top of it.
But of
Or
course,
somebody is. Somebody is.
like, it's a frustrator. I keep getting a few like comments on videos, and yet when I go to remove them, this comment cannot be found.
Yeah. Isn't that strange? I wonder if it's YouTube actually removing it, recognizing it, and removing it.
You'd like to think so, but I'm not quite holding my breath on that one.
No, that would be YouTube being helpful.
Yeah. Seven.
Mark's mods, that's YouTube bots at work removing them for you. Oh, they are being helpful, useful.
I had one video that I did that it wouldn't even let me comment on it, and I was like, okay, so then I had to go in and change some settings in the actual video. Well, that's interesting. Okay. And B17, I need one of each. Better not take those off yet, because we'll get them mixed up. I need to get a good. I have these Casey tweezers, and they were just cheap on Amazon. But a lot of times, if I'm picking up a part, they'll even these flat ones, they'll twist the part sideways, and then it gets lost in the world. And I don't know if, like, I've been told if you get a really decent quality set of tweezers, that reduces that from happening, but I don't know. I've never.
We don't pay a lot for yours, do we?
No. I think the most expensive mine was 2 tweezers for £6 from the B&Q hardware store.
Is B&Q kind of like what we have here is Ace Hardware?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
In essence, it's a hardware store, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it'll be along the very similar lines.
Yeah. Other hardware stores are available.
Yeah.
Yes, because isn't there Walmart? That'll be our Asda, won't
Asda,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I believe don't Walmart sell everything?
It depends on where you're at in the United States, because like our Walmart here, they don't. They're in fact, lately there've been they haven't had a whole lot of things that you would typically need or be able to purchase. So it's kind of frustrating. But let's say we go to Reading, which is about an hour and a half south of us. Their Walmart, they have everything. You can buy models there. You can buy guns there. You can buy anything you ever could possibly want. But it's called a super Walmart.
Yeah, you see because Asda
Were owned.
They're not owned anymore by Walmart.
No, I think they've been rebought by a British brothers.
Well, Walmart did used to own Asda over here.
Okay.
And it's primarily just
Groceries and
Yeah.
food.
like you go for your food shop.
What's that? Mark's Mods. Well, I earn money off YouTube, but still have to watch adverts on my own videos.
I believe that.
And Mark Shellard, don't forget to thumbs up. Yes, please.
Okay, so oh shoot. See, I got way ahead of myself on this one.
Oh dear.
I've already screwed it up. You're supposed to drill holes. Oh man, I'm special. Thankfully I can see where the holes are supposed to be on the outside. So that shouldn't be too hard, yeah. Yeah, usually I read the instructions before starting my build, like sometimes weeks ahead of time, and I never did look at these.
It's fine. You can blame Lewis.
Me? Well, what did I do?
Because Kaylin wasn't going to start this one tonight. It was only because you were doing a ship. Kaylin didn't want to. So you weren't. A bit of solidarity. That's what I'm looking for, I think.
Well, I liked the name of the topic, so I was like, yeah, I might as well build a ship or something. Besides, they are one of my favorite things to do. So.
Oh, that I can believe from you, Kaylin.
Well, yeah, you can believe it because he's just told you.
And the fact that obviously his
boat cap
and everything. Thank you. I couldn't quite spit the word out.
Yeah.
Why, you spat everything else out lately?
Oh, shut up. And Dave has put a thumbs up for you.
Oh, thank you.
So how far away is the water from you guys? Is it like a half an hour or is it closer?
15, 20 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
Well, actually, where we live was one of the main ports of the UK.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm? Oh, that's Boston.
No. Do you not do your history and research of the places you live?
I know, but it used to be. Hang on. I'm going to get needle out my mouth. I know it used to be an RAF base because you can still see the tower.
That wasn't an RAF base.
RAF base, RAF Wainfleet.
Yeah, but it wasn't an RAF base.
Whatever.
It was a bombing range.
Whichever. RAF still.
Yeah, but it was a bombing range. Planes didn't take off from there or land. The bombs landed.
No, I can't say I do my history. You're the history nerd in the family.
Nerd.
So there's a park. It's now a park in so Seattle. If you imagine London, so how it's broken up into different. London's like broken up into different. Do you call them boroughs or what do you call them?
Yeah. So.
So Seattle's the same way. Each city they call it a city within a city, basically. So you have all these different areas of Seattle, and there's this one park, and I can't remember. It's right before West Seattle, on this little Indian reservation. Well, they've turned it and they call it Discovery. I think it's Discovery Park, but it used to be a military base, and they have a lot of the stuff there. But they would test mortars and drop bombs and all kinds of stuff. But they had retired it because the Native Americans it was their land originally, so they kind of gave it back and have been. And so we did some work out there, kind of helping restore some of the land, and it was really cool though, because you'd come across like where they would do all these battles and test mortars and do all this crazy stuff. And we always wondered if we'd ever find any unexploded ordnance out there, but I think they had gone through and pulled everything up.
Yeah.
And then they have another park in another part of Seattle called Sandpoint, and it's on Lake Washington, and that was a submarine and a torpedo testing bay. And they have now it's a park, and they have all these tail fins from airplanes sunk in the ground, so it's kind of like a art piece. But it's amazing, like the military history in places. So it's always, to me, like I'm kind of a nerd with that. I enjoy, researching that and learning about, the history of certain areas. Like there was a concentration camp in Seattle, in Lake City.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's like one of those things, like a lot of people don't realize, we had concentration camps here too, just like, I don't know if Britain did, but.
We had prisoner of war camps.
Okay. Yeah, we apparently America wasn't afraid to call them what they were.
Yeah. But I mean, I love to do research on, especially where you live. It's like what's happened around you. Where we live, now I would call it a village, but if you do that, you get moaned at by the
locals.
Yeah, the true locals that's grown up and lived here all their lives and whatnot. They call it a town.
Okay.
But it's a village. But
yeah,
like probably 1600s, it was one of the most important ports of the UK.
Wow.
And then about 45 minutes down the road, you've got Boston.
Half an hour.
45 if you do the speed limit. You got Boston, where I was born and brought up. It was the second busiest port in the UK after London.
Wow.
So that weren't that long ago. But the trouble is, Boston, they let the rivers get all silted up and the ships just couldn't get in.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Because you're on the east. You're on the east end of England,
yeah,
right?
on the east coast.
Dave, River Humber / Ouse is just over a quarter of a mile away from us, as we're on the north bank. Can see Lincolnshire from here, no problem.
So where's the Victory at in relation to you guys?
Is the Victory in Portsmouth or London?
I have absolutely no idea. Where's my needle gone?
Don't know. Where was your needle gone? Get Connor to put his jump on it. Find it.
What is there?
I'll just ask a friend on that one, Kaylin.
Okay. Phone a friend.
Yeah. Yeah. HMS Victory is in Portsmouth Naval Base. So that is about 5-hour drive.
Oh, wow.
Takes me about 4 hours to get down to Southampton in the truck. Yeah, 4 or 5 hour drive south from us.
Okay.
But I don't know if she's all put back together yet.
No, the last time I saw pictures of her, they had they were doing a lot of work on the cannons, and I think the cannons, like they're replacing wheels and stuff like that. And there was a lot of stuff pulled out of it, and the anchors were off, and all the masts were down.
Yeah. She suffered a fire not so long ago as well, a few years ago now.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know whether it was just, I don't know whether the masts and the rigging and whatnot was on it or not, but I think it might have even been arson.
Really? That's too bad.
Mark's Mods. Yeah, I'm with him on this one. Close to me is York, so I love going to see the Flying Scotsman. Oh, absolutely.
No comment.
No, I'm very much the steam a steam lover of the family, aren't I?
I don't like trains. I like to be in control of my own death.
But trains are so relaxing when you can actually get, as long as you're not going to London, generally you can get a seat. And it's just so relaxing. Many times when I used to come from Doncaster to Skeg to see you when we were first courting, dating, whatever we're going to call it, I think it used to be about 2 hours from Doncaster to here, and quite easily get on the poacher line, which is from Grantham to Skeg, and I'd quite easily fall asleep just with the rhythm and the noises.
And then miss your stop.
Well, no, that's why I always set a phone alarm. Well, no, because Skeg was always the end of the line anyway.
Skeg is at the end of the line.
But I'd still set an alarm to make sure that they didn't send me back.
Why did you have to set that alarm? Could have had such a peaceful life if they'd have sent you back.
I just find them so relaxed, especially going on steam trains, because you've just got all the noise, and it's just amazing, the smell and noise of them. Bring back the steam trains. Sod the planet.
Yeah, I don't know if I know down south they had a lot of steamboats and stuff, but I don't think too many were around in Seattle, at least that are remembered. I'm sure they had a lot of them, but there is a funny story that so the Port of Seattle back, it was in the early 1900s, and fire departments were a little bit different back then, and they had just started getting fire engines, and Seattle purchased their very first I think there were 3 fire engines that they had initially purchased, and we kept having, for various reasons, fires on Coleman Dock, or I think it was Coleman Dock, either one of the main docks in Seattle. And so one night there was this fire, and the fire department, they were so happy because they finally got to use their fire trucks that none of their firefighters were trained with, really, because they were so brand new. And they drove all 3 fire trucks onto the dock to put it out. And to this day, there are 2 fire engines in the bottom of the harbor. They managed to get one of them recovered. And the original clock tower sank in the fire, and they managed to restore that. And that is actually on the dock to this day, restored. So then after that fire, when Seattle lost their 3 fire engines, they thought, well, it might be smarter to attack these from the water. So that was when Seattle Fire Department made their very first fireboat purchase. And my memory escapes me right now. I'd have to look it up. I can't remember the name of that vessel, but she is docked in Seattle at Lake Union, right by close to the Ballard Locks. And it was the very first ship fireboat that Seattle had ever purchased. And it's a wooden boat. It's beautiful, just an amazing, amazing boat to check out. And I think you can go out to where it's docked at and visit it, because it was such a huge part of our history. And they still use fireboats to this day because it's easier to access the docks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a fun little fire history of Seattle.
See, boats now better than trains.
Oh, God.
And the amazing thing, like the Great Seattle Fire that happened, where it started in a little store downtown, and it destroyed a huge portion of the city. But that it was started because a pot of glue fell over. And it's funny because when we talk about history and stuff like that, Seattle it's just barely over 100 years old. And
Yeah.
all that history is so, like we in our minds, by, people that grew up in Washington and in that area, we think, oh, that's so old. But then you go and you visit, like even the town I live in now in California, the history goes back to the early 1800s. And the like they even had, fire brigades and stuff back then, and other, just the miners and everybody coming to the town to find gold. And then, like then you go to the UK and go to Europe, and then, I mean, there's history back into the 1500s, 1600s, which is just incredible. I can't even fathom that,
I just dropped a piece of photo etch.
Oh dear.
For goodness sake.
We've lost Lewis.
While Lewis tries to find it, Mark's Mods, my favourite film is The Railway Children. Oh, gorgeous. I loved watching that film growing up.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I've never
Am I
heard
not
of
surprised? Yeah, growing up, as I got older, you got it. Nearly every year, sometimes twice a year, with my family, we used to go to the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway, and we actually got off where they filmed, and it's just like, wow. Yes, definitely one of my favourite railways growing up.
Never
What
seen
I always thought was fascinating was back when trains were just kind of coming into being built and all that, and being used for transportation, was the fact that they didn't know if people could manage the forces of 25 miles an hour. So they actually did all these tests to make sure that people could withstand it on a train. It's like, look at us now.
Forces nowadays.
Yeah. Do you guys have a speed train, or is that just France that has that?
Not as such. There's one that goes from London to Edinburgh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'll call that a pretty quick speed train.
But I don't know if I'd class it as speed trains, because I don't know if it's non-stop.
Okay.
I don't know if it's non-stop London to Edinburgh.
I don't think it is, but it's still pretty quick.
Mm.
I wouldn't want to be stood in front of it.
Yeah. I'd say probably by France's standards, no.
They're building the HS2, aren't they?
Oh, don't. They're now scrapping it, apparently. There's talk of scrapping it anyway.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, there goes Discord.
Yeah, apparently it's getting too expensive, so there's talk of scrapping it.
Well, that was the thing with, in Australia, we were talking about this on the HobbyLink International community Discord the other day, was that some Australian guy, I guess, has decided to build a full-scale replica of the Titanic. And I heard it kept getting put on hold. And so I'm not sure what the status is of it right now, but Top, he's a member of the community. He was saying that they actually are continuing with the project. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's been put on hold and restarted and hold. He's ran out of money apparently, this, that, and the other. The thing that makes me laugh, it's being built in China.
Are you serious?
No, yeah, being built
Wow.
in China purely to stop the stigmatism of things being built in China.
Yeah. I already have tape out. You got the Bismarck book for Christmas, right?
Bismarck. I've got the Titanic.
Oh, okay. The one for the Titanic. What I can't remember what it's called. The one that you got.
Titanic, the ship magnificent.
That's right. So it's my understanding like that's one of the better reference books.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've not had a chance to look through it all because I don't open it.
Yeah.
I don't want to break it, to be honest. But it's like it goes through the construction, everything to do with the construction of the outside of the ship, the hull construction, everything, configuration, the lot, and then it goes in for the internals as well. So like your decorations and where the lighting is and everything like that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to use it greatly for when I do the Titanic. It's like to get the interior and everything as good as I can.
Yeah.
I think also as well, Titanic has always been your love of the sea. That's always been your greatest obsession. So it'd be a good reference book for you anyway, regardless of when you get build started.
That's true. Yeah, there supposedly there's a reference book for the Bismarck, but it was I think Titanic the Magnificent or whatever it's about $50 here in the U.S. and I think the one for the Bismarck is roughly the same.
Yeah,
it's the only thing that I have trouble with is there's so few pictures of the Bismarck with any color photos.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to guess on stuff or go by record. And that's where I'm still on the fence with as to whether or not the status of the bow markings for the because I've been told, so you read different reports. So there was a survivor that states that it was tarped when it went down, and then there's other reports that the captain had it painted over gray. But some people are saying it from the images that you see, it's fully visible. But it could be it was literally painted 3 days before it sank is what the story that I was told, and that paint was still fresh, so that would be the first to come off when it merged. So I don't know. I think I'm going to go ahead and create a tarp. I want to try making one out of just paper and thin down Elmer's glue. School glue, and just make a tarp for it just to have it on the side. But
I mean, my personal view, now I've not done any research into it or anything, but my personal view would be they would have painted it because tarping it down, especially if they experience heavy seas or anything like that, they'd have to go re-secure the tarp because it would be loose.
Exactly.
It would be, my personal view would be they would have painted over it, as they did with the actual camouflage, because you see all the dazzle camouflage on, especially like the Tirpitz and the Bismarck, they were only ever present when they were in port as camouflage.
Really?
Yeah, when they went out to sea, they'd paint over it. because it's grey.
So, and that's the thing with the Bismarck. I think the one that comes from the part work build that I'm getting from Agora, I think it only has the camouflage on the hull. There's no camo on the structure of the ship.
Yeah, I think isn't the Agora one the same as the Hachette one?
My understanding is yes, it's
Yeah.
pretty much the exact same one.
So mine's got the black and white stripes amidships, and then the bow and stern wave, and the darker bow and stern grey. Now I believe they were still present when she put to sea, because they made the ship appear smaller and a harder target than what she actually was.
Okay.
I mean, I can see Mark's putting that's not doing a job properly.
You boys were talking. I wasn't going to be rude.
Well, there's another weird.
Oh, Ian at Part Work Upgrades has done. Oh, and you got another bot.
I'm on it.
Kill it.
That would have been a good time for your shooting noise, and you just missed it.
Yeah.
Mark's Mods, Lewis, a great reference book for Titanic is On a Sea of Glass. When you're looking at that one?
I've seen that one. I've had a look at it. That's just stupid. Sorry, no.
You're going to make your photo etch?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's certainly one that I will more than likely purchase.
Yeah, and then with the photo etch for the Titanic, I've been told to get both. There's the Pontos set, and then
the KA.
Yeah, to get both of them, because there's parts that are better than others in either kit, and I think that's what Alex was saying about the hood too.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Builds was that some of the parts in one are better than the parts in the other, but then there's benefits to certain parts in the Edward kit or whatever. Yeah. So I may source both of them, but I definitely want to get my hands on, and I may end up buying them before I buy the kit, but the wooden decks for it.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to be able to buy the KA set for the Titanic.
So it's pretty expensive, isn't it?
Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
it's almost as much as the kit.
It's where do you stop? That's my thing. When do you stop?
I hear you. Yeah.
I mean, I probably will, because it's going to be years down the line till I get around to building it.
True.
But I mean, the thing for me is this Titanic kit will be the last kit Titanic I actually build, because it will be, to be honest. It's, to me, the Titanic holds a special place to me, as it does to most people.
Yeah.
But it's like I built a few of them, or attempted to build them, and it's like this one's got bad points about it, but so is every other model. The thing people's got to remember is, yeah, this probably isn't accurate, that's probably not accurate, but it is what it is. It's a scale model. It's not an actual replica.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's going to be differences, and it's a, what's the word? It's in essence, impression of how they thought the Titanic was, as accurately as they can, but there's still artistic license even in the molds.
Yeah.
Yeah, because didn't they work with the Titanic Society or something?
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be the most accurate.
Yeah, and it is the most accurate Titanic you can purchase, the Trumpeter one. You know, and if it's not 100% accurate, they're not saying it's 100%. They're saying it's the most accurate.
True. Yeah, I think when I was a kid, I think it was a Revell version of the Titanic, and you know, I was a kid. I was maybe 12 years old when I built it, and that one ended up, because it wasn't the greatest, and that one ended up sinking. I think it had a fiery end to it, but I'm kind of like you, Lewis. If I do get it, and when I do, it's going to be years down the road, and it's going to be, it's going to have the time and effort put into it to make it the way that I want it.
Yeah.
In the end,
I think it also comes down, like I said, the cost of it, because you're paying so much for the kit and the aftermarket. Why would you not want to give it the time and attention that it needs?
Exactly. And that's how I feel about the hood, because I want my hood to be a museum showcase, quality, and so that the hood will definitely be probably a good 5 or 10 year build.
I mean, Nigel over at Nigel's modeling bench, fantastic model builder. And if you want accuracy, he will get it accurate.
Yep.
But he's got that background. He's got engineering background. To me,
yeah,
I find his work impressive, but to me, it's well beyond my skill level.
OTT.
He actually offered to, I don't know if he was joking, but he offered to sell me his hood, and I wonder if it's because he doesn't like the kit. I don't know. I didn't ask him. I was thinking about asking him, but shipping from the UK would cost a fortune.
Oh yes.
Max Mods has put the Agora Bismarck is the Hachette one.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I need to go talk to my wife. I think she's gonna head out, so I'll be right back.
Okay, mate.
Okay.
Where's that bit? I'm not happy with that.
Why?
Not that. This.
Just quickly, Max Mods. Check out a YouTube channel called Titanic, Honor and Glory. They have created the most accurate simulation of the Titanic you can download for free.
Yeah, I'm part of the Facebook group as well on that.
I might have a nosy.
All right, I am back.
Welcome back. Oh, I've just dropped a bit. There we go.
Got it?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Looks better.
I've got all my holes drilled. Did you find that part you dropped?
Yeah.
Good.
Just dropped another bit. Just not happy with where it's sitting. It's not sitting central. And I've already snapped it once.
So I'm gonna order that bender that you have, the big one. I don't think I'm gonna waste my time getting the smaller one, because there's 3 different ones that company makes. There's a small, medium, and a large.
Yeah.
And I think with the large one, I should be able to do everything I need.
Yeah, I've seen them. They've been over Facebook quite a bit just lately. And there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, where'd you get the big one from? It's it's nice."
Yeah.
It's like it can do. I thought I bent the post then.
And I have a set of the channel lock duckbill pliers, but they're really big. And I think you showed me the small, like a smaller pair
Yeah.
of
Yeah. Oh, oops.
There goes all the photo etch.
Them ones.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. They're absolutely brilliant. I can't fault them at all.
What are you lost?
My glasses.
Your actual glasses or your modelling glasses?
My actual glasses.
Yeah.
Can't see my cup of coffee.
That's probably so cold.
Coffee is fine. We've still got 4 people watching.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should. Did you ever get it posted on Discord?
No. I suppose I could do it, couldn't I? I mean, I'm in no rush to finish or get off, so if you ever want to just get off, Kaylin, that's fine.
Or if your good ladies give you her orders.
Yeah, I think we're gonna head over to her parents but not anytime soon, I guess. So.
Is that my cue to make you a fresh coffee?
No, I still got coffee.
I should go make one myself.
Coffee is good, hot or cold.
Oh, see, I almost did it again. Don't glue anything without drilling first.
Are you putting cocoa on that one though, Kaylin?
I don't even think I don't think they even make it for it.
Yeah, well, they do 1/700s.
Oh, could you imagine
that particular ship though?
Just how small that would be?
Tiny, tiny, tiny.
Yeah.
And tiny, tiny on top.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But if you do want to make a cup in that, I'm not going to stop you.
I thought it would come. Right, okay, I'm just going to go on mute mode just while I boil the kettle.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I can find the link to share. It's interesting on this one. All the life rafts are on top of the main guns. Oh, there we go. It is now it is now on the Discord, so we'll see if pull any people over from Hobby Link International.
Yeah, Hobby Link International, fantastic place to go. Really supportive guys over there, to be honest. I must admit, I'm very shy, very reserved. But you know what? They made me feel so welcome. And in the Discord as well, chatting away to them, it's like you're just one of them, even though I'm a Brit.
Yeah. Well, we have a few Brits. GB.
Yeah.
I can't remember his full channel, but he's also a member, and he's in the UK, I believe.
Yeah, it's GB Model Zone.
Yep. And we managed to get Nigel to join finally. He's been hanging out with us here and there, but he finally became a member and joined. So it's nice to have Nigel with the members.
That's Nigel at Nigel's modelling bench.
Yep. Great
So, I mean, both Nat and myself, we're not fussed. If you've got a YouTube channel or anything, or Facebook page, forums, we're really not fussed about you advertising your work or anything like that.
Why do you want your coffee?
Where it was, just there. Don't spill it on the laptop.
I'm not spilling it on the laptop. I'd rather spill it on your model than the laptop. Yeah.
So we'll get Nat doing a job in a minute.
The Bookman's Model Mania going ! Kaylin Cash.
Yeah. It's Kaylin loot. Or glove loot.
Yeah, so Bookman's Model Mania is from the forum, Hobby Link International. I keep trying to get Nat to join. So I can bully her on there as well.
No, it's brilliant for modelers, but it's too modelly for me.
I know you're not a modeler, a model.
Ha ha.
I wouldn't mind a model.
And then he's Bookman has put, hey Kaylin and Lewis.
Hello, Bookman.
Hello, Top. How are you?
Top.
Yeah, we call him Top because of his. He was in the Air Force, and he were just retired, in fact, from the Air Force.
I must admit, the American Air Force kept me awake for quite a bit the other night.
Did they?
Yep. I stopped a place called Brandon, which is near Lake and Heath. And I stopped at the bottom of the runway for RAF Lake and Heath, which is an American air base. And they were flying the F-16s.
Ooh.
You do like staying there, don't you?
Yeah. I must admit, I do like to see the planes and whatnot taking off and landing. And the thing is, though, they're so noisy. They're noisier taking off than what they are landing.
True.
Well, I thought that was common sense because it takes more to get them into the air than when it does to
Yeah.
land them.
But they're flying probably 50 feet away from my truck when they come into land.
That's
And
cool.
yet the runway, when they're taking off, they take off the other end of the runway. And when they take off, it's like the whole truck just reverberates with the noise.
Oh, we've still got Mark Shellard with us. About time Nat did something.
Certainly is. Soon be Christmas.
And Bookman, doing good, retired 11 years ago after 24 in service, working
Okay.
on the QM2, cutting windows for lighting.
Ooh.
And then he used to work on the F-16s. They are extremely loud.
Oh, yes. The thing I can't understand, though, so I can see it's easier to see them at night than what it is in the day, because I'm driving the opposite way, basically. But I'm driving past the airbase and I can see the F-16 sat there, and even when it's raining, some of them's got the canopies up.
Really?
It's like, yeah. It's like, surely the cockpit can't be waterproof.
Well, you've got an expert in for your fault.
Yeah. Why are they sat there with the rain beating down? And obviously, living in the UK, it rains a lot. Why have they still got the canopies open? Okay, I put a piece of photo etch down and I can't find it. There it is.
Yeah, there isn't there like a 1/32 scale F-16? Like, I think it's Tamiya.
Yeah, I think so. I think I might end up getting it just to build the thing that keeps me awake.
Yeah. I want to build a Harrier, but I've heard nothing but bad things about the Harrier kits.
Yeah, I've got the Revell 1/32 Harrier. I don't know whether they still do it, but they did a 1/18 scale. I can't remember who it was who made it.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna get the SR-71 in 1/32, or one. It's either 1/32 or 1/35.
The SR-71. That's the Blackbird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that the new one by Revell?
Yep. Yeah, they finally came out with a larger version of it, and it's one of the few aircraft besides Air Force One that I've actually been in the cockpit of.
I've flown a Lancaster bomber.
Did you?
Yeah. There's a little museum not far away from me. There's a film called Lancaster Skies.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got the cockpit that was used as a prop on it.
Oh, cool.
And they put a VR set system in it. So you put the headset on and everything just comes to life. You
Really?
can look around, you can see the engines out the window, out the cockpit turning. You start them up, you push the throttle up to get it to go. Got the full yoke. You look behind you and you can see right down the inside of the actual fuselage. You can look out the top of the canopy and you can see the wings and the guns, everything. it is fascinating.
I bet. That's awesome.
I did a half-hour flight on it, and they do a half-hour, an hour flight experience, and I'm going to go back and do an hour. It
You
really
should have
is.
that, film it.
Yeah, I've got some footage of it. The trouble is, because it's everything I'm looking at, you see, like Nat could see what I was looking at.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's on a TV, it's flat. It really doesn't do it justice.
Yeah.
But I have got video of it, and I will be hopefully putting it up on my YouTube channel for everyone else to see. It's just awe-inspiring.
That's cool. Yeah, believe it or not, so pilots, they often do quite a bit of their training in the VR models like that, in the VR training modules, and kind of something that a lot of people don't realize too. So when I was getting my captain's license, and even afterwards training with the Coast Guard, they've been found to be, safer and more and cheaper to do a virtual training like the pilots do for boat captains. And so that's one thing that we did quite a bit. And the setup for it, it's like you're in the real, like you're in the real cabin and everything, and you see everything. And so they had different sets and versions of different scenarios that you would do. But I personally, I always enjoyed doing the man overboard drills and stuff live and on the water, because that was, we would do a lot of, every month you'd have to do like different, like fire trainings and different drills and man overboard drills and all this stuff. But it was interesting doing it on a computer. But for me, it's easier when you're actually in the situation on the water. To me, it seems a little bit more real to me.
Yeah.
Because the controls are always different, a little bit different and stuff. But yeah, those trainings were definitely a lot of fun. I really miss being on the water.
Yeah. I suppose it's a bit like driving a car on a video game.
Yeah.
Because when you're in the car, you get the feel of the car and everything, whereas when you're in a video game, you've got no resistance of turning the wheel or anything like that. Let's just, how did Nat get rid of that? Let's go back and bam, there we go. Goodbye you.
I've been watching this channel, Mentor Pilot, and he does a lot. He kind of goes over a lot of different flight things, and he does it in a trainer. And sometimes I think he'll show some of the video from when he's actually flying, but not most of it's done in a trainer. And then he does really cool videos on different aviation close calls or disasters.
Yeah.
And the close calls ones is always fun, because we did that too. They would talk about close calls and stuff, and you just kind of, but he goes over everything and what the final NTSB report says and all that. So that's kind of been a fun channel to watch lately. He has almost 1 million subscribers. I couldn't imagine.
See, I've just been watching Auditing Britain.
I'll put that back on here and there, and I am sub to him, so I'll see it when it comes up. I actually like him. I like his stuff more than we have the audit here in America.
Yeah.
And it's different people that they pull from different auditors, and so sometimes they're good, and other times you're like, you know what, you're pushing it a little too far. But
Yeah.
I feel like the guy from auditing Britain, I feel like he doesn't try to push stuff too far at times.
Yeah.
But I don't, everybody's views that differently.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, Nat doesn't like auditing Britain.
Yeah.
We disagree massively on him, don't we?
Yeah, because you have no taste.
I think it's funny though when he hands them an ID.
Yeah. Yeah. You got any ID? Yeah. You don't want my ID though.
You don't want
we
it.
do. And I just staring at him. I see one with the cat man. So this copper's gone out. He's walking back in, and obviously Auditing Britain is filming, and he's got cat food with him. So Auditing Britain turns around and says, why have you got cat food? And the copper turns and says, I'm on my lunch break. He's like, you eat cat food for your lunch? So he goes into the actual main reception and says, I'm concerned for one of your officers. He's just told me he's got cat food for lunch. He's like, have you seen anyone like eating cat food in the staff canteen or eating off the floor? Oh, it's hilarious. No, I'll do the comments in a minute.
Well, I was just about to ask, how far have you got?
Where did you leave it?
I got up to used to work on the F-16s. They're extremely loud.
Yeah, that's where I've got up to.
Right, so Bookman, when I worked on the F-16, we always closed the canopies in the rain.
Must just be British.
Mm-hmm. I built a 148 F-16D this past summer. Really fun kit.
Who made that? Was it Tamia? I had to think then.
And obviously warned you about the bot.
The bot.
And Mark is creasing himself.
Yeah, Auditing Britain. If he is. Nat doesn't like him because of how he is with the police. But you know what? He also goes around and helps other people. So there was a homeless guy. He stole from one of the shops, and the police obviously took the stuff off him and took it back to the shop. So Auditing Britain found the homeless guy, said, look, you know what, come with me, went with him, went back to the shop, and he actually walked in and paid for the goods he had stolen and gave it to him. He won some cash off a copper that had assaulted him, and he'd just gone round and gave, it was like £1,100, and he just gave it all away.
Yeah. I didn't realize I guess his son edits his videos.
Is that?
Yeah, he said in one video I watched, he had to apologize for something his son had left in it when when his son edited it, and he didn't catch it until it was too late.
Yes, Mark Shellard put, does he sit in the corner licking himself as well?
Probably.
Yeah. Well, and it's to me, it's interesting to kind of see the variance of law enforcement in the United Kingdom versus our law enforcement here. And there's certain rules that you guys have that are different from ours. Like technically, I think so. Like the whole filming in public is the part that I really admire him for, because you absolutely, and here in America, you absolutely have that right as well. But here in America, and I don't know if it's every city or county, but I know in certain areas, if you're asked to present your ID, you have to. There's no choice. So yeah, and there's a few other differences too. But it's amazing to me actually how many law enforcement officers there are in certain precincts in the UK as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Lincolnshire is one of the biggest counties in the UK. We've actually got the smallest law enforcement.
Really?
Yeah.
You look at London, you probably won't be able to go a second without seeing a different one.
I mean, we do have different laws in regards to different areas as well. It's like one thing. So if auditing Britain was to walk behind the police gates that's like cordoning off their police cars and everything, he can't get arrested for it. It's not a criminal offence to trespass. It's a civil matter that will be taken up in a civil court.
Okay.
But if he goes to MI6, which he has done, if he was to walk behind their gates, that is a criminal offence to trespass on MI6 grounds. So we do have slight differences depending on where you go. There's one he did that had a bylaw put up near the police station, and the bylaw was actually, it was an offence to wear a face mask.
Really?
Yeah. And it's like, he said, I think that's a bit old now, because obviously it was coronavirus and everything when he filmed it, or even still now, if you walk in a shop and anything, you have to wear a face mask now.
Yeah.
So he's like, I think that's a bit old. But I find him really useful in what he does. You know, some things it can.
I find him too much of an antagonist.
Yeah, but what's antagonistic about saying, no, you're not having my ID? He doesn't have to give it.
Yeah, so that's like a lot of the times. So there's been a few episodes that I've watched where it feels like he's kind of seeking out trouble. But I do feel that there are times where he's not actively seeking out an issue. He just wants to show what will happen if you're filming. And so those are the episodes that I kind of feel are usually a little easier to watch sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does do, like, especially if it's funny, because here in America, there's a rule that you don't butt in unless an officer's in danger. And so, like, for instance, if somebody's being arrested and I was to go up and start telling them what, that you need to say this or you need to say that, I can be arrested.
Yeah.
And so it's because you're creating a safety issue in their eyes, which at points I do agree.
Well, I will put Kaylin on the spot though, and Kaylin does quite like the way Harvey policed down in Essex.
They have a lot of very attractive police officers.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's funny because you're only seeing a small portion of of the officers, though. But it does seem like there's a lot of female police officers in Essex.
I'll go and get in trouble just for it.
I feel like I'm gonna break this barrel just by trying to get it off the sprue. This should have been a photo etch part.
I'm just trying to stick my thingy in the hole.
Good luck with that.
Let's just straighten it up.
The other problem is the glue. I haven't quite found a glue for little tiny parts like this that doesn't eat away at the plastic as much.
Yeah.
So at times I wonder if super glue would be better to use for little tiny parts sometimes. But
what about the Revell contactor glue? Can you get that over there?
This stuff?
The weird stuff in the tube. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Does this not melt the plastic as much?
No, because it's a contactor glue. It doesn't melt it like Tamiya.
Okay. See, that's good to know. I learn something new every day. Here's our California warning: cancer. To me, that says, so this bottle contains cancer.
Really? Oh. Been using that stuff for years and not got cancer yet.
No. So that's something I've noticed that you do it, and I've seen a few other modelers do it as well. The CD. You do a lot of your work on a CD. Is there a reason?
Yeah, because I only do it on with photo etch. So your cutting board is very soft. So when you cut into your actual cutting board, it'll push down. So when you're cutting photo etch off, it bends the actual photo etch part that you're cutting if you do it straight on the board. If you do it on something hard like a CD, a piece of glass or a ceramic tile, because it's a hard base behind it, it cuts into the photo etch rather than bending and pulling it.
Okay. See?
That is...
Wow.
That, you might need to focus.
It's input. I thought it was.
Is that focused now?
I don't think so. I can't see. I've not got my glasses on, so I can't see.
Oh, to me that looks fine.
Yeah, it looks focused.
I can see all your wrinkles.
Yeah, it's the mast you're looking at, though.
Oh yeah, but it's because it's so fine.
That has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bits of photo etch on, which isn't a lot, actually.
Not by your standards, anyway.
No. What we're looking at next. $305. Talking about the Queen Mary too as well. I might need to get that kit.
That is a nice looking kit.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you too, is because you've pulled your Titanic out, right? Actually, is your hull warped or is it fine?
It doesn't appear warped. That's about as much as I can say. I've not actually.
Okay, because Nigel makes he actually made these braces for it. and I don't know how much he charges for them, but they're basically ribs that he's constructed that go inside. You've probably seen it on his channel.
I think you ordered them, didn't you? And he goes digging through his drawer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what they are.
And then
AB.
you just cut out the middle.
You can do. So I'm going to be putting the lighting in mine. So I'm going to cut out these. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them yet, though. But I am certainly going to have some sort of bracing inside to support it and whatnot, because obviously photo etch, putting a lot of photo etch on, it puts a lot of weight into the actual model itself. I mean, that Belfast I did, the photo etch doubled the weight of the actual ship, the actual model.
Okay.
With the amount I put on it. So I don't want to get halfway through it and then realize, oh, it's pushing the actual full sides out or whatnot, or the decks actually just fall in on them because there's that much weight on it.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure on how I'm going to combat it yet. It's all dependent on the lighting and everything else that I want to put in it to see how I do it. But I certainly, he did some drill jigs as well for the portholes, and I purchased them. So you get 2 or 3 jigs with it. So basically, your first hole you put into the actual porthole to drill it out is dead center.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I say, Nigel, people aren't keen on him because he goes in extra detail in his builds, and he says this isn't right, that's not right. But that's him. That's what he likes to do. He's from that sort of background, you know. So to me, if that's what he's able to do and that's what he enjoys doing, good on him.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, and he's not one of those that he says, oh, this wasn't right, that's not right, and that's it. He will show you how to correct it. And if you need something extra and he's able to make it, he'll make it. And yeah, he'll sell it to you, but so would anyone else.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't actually got an issue with him, a problem with him.
No, I like how his reviews are always really honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something just does not look right about these. There's a massive. I wonder if I'm supposed to cut it off all the way back there. I think I am. That is crazy. That just makes the barrels super tiny, but I guess they would be. They just don't look like they're the right length if I was to cut it all the way back there.
I would help, but I can't see because I've not got my glasses. And that doesn't want to make you big. That come out wrong, didn't it?
Yeah.
No, you don't need to. It's so hard to see anyway. I don't think. So these are the. Let me ask if, and hopefully, let me see if I can do this so somebody can. I just lost it. See, I hate these tweezers. So let's do this. So that is. Come on. So that is the piece off. I cut it off with a little extra from the sprue, but it's looking like, see that at the back of the barrel there, there's like two different, you could either have it super long, but then there's that square piece in the middle.
Yeah.
But it also looks like they want you to cut it flush with that square piece, but then it's too small for the actual. See, so I'm confused. I might have to do some research on this. Because the proper length of the barrel should be all the way the current size that it is, but I don't understand why that square bit's on there. This is why 1/700 shouldn't exist, right?
1/700 doesn't exist.
They're the right barrels. C12. That's B12.
Cool. Just bent it and again.
Ah. Okay. See, again, this is because Kaylin's not following directions properly. Again, it's user error, not the kit's fault. It's Kaylin's fault. I just realized I had the wrong barrels. Those are for the smaller guns, obviously, now that I know that.
I just couldn't need to use the iron, okay?
Okay. Where's that?
I do like how Trumpeter gives you extra parts because they know you're going to lose some.
Edward do that and all, but the trouble is, they're extra parts. You can't get rid of them.
Yeah.
So on the Belfast, they've got the lifeboats in the stuck to like the side of the ship. The Edward photo etch set has put in an extra like holder bit for an extra lifeboat, life raft. It's not actually there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that gun barrel is lost forever. Oh, found it.
You beat the carpet monster.
It was actually on the cutting bench right at the edge of it, about to
about to be food.
Yep.
Let's see how this is meant to go. Okay. It's going to get a whole lot more complicated. Making a lot of huffing and puffing through there now.
I think of plan B, C, and down to Z. Down to Z.
Why?
Because this bonder web's not sticking. What? I'm not careful, I'm going to heat off all my pencil lines.
Has Nat been using her new tool she got at Telford?
Nat, you've been using your new tool that you got at Telford.
I have. The only thing is, because of the crappy material from the shed, it's not working very well.
Did you hear any of that?
Yeah, I heard it. So Hachette's material hasn't been the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, because hang on, let me just unplug the iron. Yeah, because it's like, I'll give Gyro Cut their due. When I did my intro video for it, I did a demonstration, I used material from like a proper haberdashery supplier.
Uh-huh.
And it cut through the material beautifully. But yeah, I put it on this and it's just not coping with the cheapness, basically.
That's
So it's a pain.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because this is a project that as soon as I saw it, I thought, you know what, that is going to be a godsend.
Oh yeah.
But I'm certainly not going to take anything away from Gyro Cut at all.
Yeah, I'm sure that different materials are better than others.
Oh yes. Right, I need.
Now these barrels are obviously the right size. I think also too, for like cutting masks and decals and stuff, it would work really good too.
Yeah, so they're at Telford originally for that purpose, to sell
Okay.
the tool for cutting masks and decals and everything. But it's like I said to Nat, I primarily build ships, and it's all mainly straight lines.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm gonna burn myself here. That's why we decided to get it for her.
I'm sure she'll get some good use out of it.
Oh yes.
Especially if you get, wasn't there like a special fabric blade?
Yeah, so she's got the it's like a bigger blade, I think. Anyway. She just disappeared. Oh, that is ridiculous. So I've got to solder. Well, I don't got to solder, I can glue, but I like to solder. I'll cut the next one off and show you. Stuck to my finger. No, I really don't think you'll see that.
No. Oh wow. That's
That tiny line on the end of my finger is there.
wow.
And that's got to go sit on top of that yard arm there as a walkway. I love photo etch.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think it really depends on the kit too, and because some of the photo etch that I don't understand is the stuff that's you end up painting it and it makes it really thick
Yeah.
when it's supposed to be thin, or you're just absolutely never going to notice that detail. But
Yeah, it's a bit like this detail. You're not going to notice.
but personally, you know it's there, so.
Yeah, I mean, I do it because primarily I enjoy the building process.
Yep.
I enjoy the building more than I do the painting. I could get away
Oh,
with
I'm the same way. I don't hate painting. It's not, I don't look forward to it. Let's just say that.
Yeah. I'll make the build last as long as possible so I don't have to paint. Because I mean, I'm not very good at painting anyway, so.
Yeah. Well, that's partly why the GTO is still sitting in our box, not completed.
Yeah.
Just because the paint, I was having so many issues with it, and I finally was just like, screw this. I'm going to put it up on the shelf and come back to it at another time.
Yeah. I think that's too much solder. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, this definitely looks 1,000 times better.
I'll be with you in just a jiffy. You got it going. Got it looking better. And correct barrels on.
Yeah, now that the right barrels are on, so that's more or less. Let's see if I can do this without breaking it.
Let's put your full screen when I can find where she's put a mouse. There we go. Look at that.
It's hard. It's really hard to get the barrels perfectly lined up, though. And see, that's one of those things I'm gonna notice, but nobody else will.
Yeah. Let's get that on that. Where's that? There we go.
Mark's put a comment in, Mark Shellard. Good luck with that, Lewis. I couldn't even hardly see anything.
It was really difficult to see. I mean, it's smaller than a hair.
Right, so that's got that on there. But how am I going to hold that while I solder it? Because that's going to melt my fingers. Just stuck that on there. Did you get it to work, Babs?
Better.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Is it really? Sugar lump. So that's just whispered to me, so no one else hears. Connor is still awake.
Oh.
Sleeping meal, bless him. His page is asleep, so that's half the battle.
Let's take that. Come on there.
Yeah, I had a niece that up until she was probably about 7 or 8, she would not fall asleep unless somebody was in the room with her.
Oh, bless her.
So I remember when she was really little, and my sister had to work, I'd have to go, even just for a nap, you'd have to go and lay down with her. And she finally she was about 7, I think, when that finally stopped. But yeah, no matter what you did, she would not fall asleep.
Connor's just stubborn,
Yeah.
like his mother.
His mind's too busy, bless him.
Yeah, thinks about all them tornadoes.
Oh, yes.
Has he have he done any more streams or anything, or after his birthday one?
They haven't yet, and I want to. We just haven't got around to it, have we?
No, I haven't.
He did a really good job on that live stream.
Oh yeah, he absolutely loves it. He'll got him a camera, and he'll get that, and he'll walk around the house pretending he's doing a live stream.
Reach to a point, he'll say, "Hello, everyone," or "Good morning, good afternoon, and today I am doing blah blah blah."
Yeah.
So if you're not a YouTube creator,
Yeah, that's funny. Gives him something to do.
Oh yes. Keeps him off the streets.
at the tender age of 7.
Yeah.
Do you have the Enterprise like in the living room, or
The aircraft carrier one?
yeah?
No, it's in the bedroom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is it turned out really nice. I like it.
Thank you. I want to, like I say, I want to redo it and just throw as much photo etch and aftermarket stuff as I can on it.
Yeah. And there's a couple of different years that you can build it, right? Like different versions of its.
I think so. Not entirely sure, because when I first built that, I wasn't
It's the first time I'd ever used photo etch and first time I'd ever actually considered doing any aftermarket stuff.
Yeah.
But I know they were saying that there's different configurations with the planes and whatnot on it.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid and toured the Nimitz, the Enterprise was actually across the bay, but you weren't allowed to go on it. They were, I think it was just when it was about to be decommissioned. But the variance in the size of the two ships was what just, I couldn't fathom it. It was so amazing because the Nimitz is ginormous. It's, I don't even remember the full, isn't it like 700 feet long or something like that? And the Enterprise is quite a bit smaller.
You see, having said that though, the Enterprise isn't, or she wasn't exactly small, was she? She was a big old ship.
Yeah. For her time, I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think when we were on the Nimitz, they had several different aircraft out, and then when you went down below deck, they also had a bunch of different aircraft down there, and it was amazing to me just how quickly they could get aircraft to the flight deck on those big elevators. And we actually got a ride on the elevator down to the interior holding deck.
Yeah.
And the maintenance, like they do all the maintenance and all that down there. And of course, me being fascinated with helicopters, I was more interested in the helicopters they had on board, but which didn't seem like it was as many as I thought there would be. And I don't, to be honest, to this day, I don't even remember what helicopters were on board that day, because most of them were down in the lower deck.
Yeah.
Mark's give you some advice. He put, get Nat to hold it so you don't burn your fingers.
Brilliant idea.
At the moment, Nat's fingers are busy not stabbing herself with an embroidery needle.
I've managed to do it. Oh, if I can find the camera.
Well,
Nice. Wow.
keep it there.
That looks good.
Doing your small parts.
Yeah, but it's not 1/700.
That's true. That's one of those details they better leave off of stuff like this. The rigging is going to be hard too. They have a template for the rigging.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't even think I have thread small enough because most of my thread is sewing thread, and that's too thick.
Wow.
So speaking of sewing machines, last night we talked about your Christmas present. My grandmother made so many different things in her lifetime, and between clothes and different crafts and things. But when she ended up getting a serger, and she had that serger was her go-to for so long. And at one point, she had taught me how to thread it and use it for just mending jeans or things like that. But when she passed away, or before she passed away, she actually gave it to my wife. And Melissa is so overwhelmed that she's never even tried using it. And I don't blame her. It's, you almost need to take a college course to know how to use it.
Bless her.
But yeah, sergers are like, one of these days maybe I'll try to figure out how to thread it and show her. And but that was when my grandma taught me. That was 30, probably about 28 years ago. So,
Wow. Yes, they are definitely getting a lot more advanced as time goes on, shall we say.
Advanced. Press a button and leave it.
not quite, but close.
No, she literally did. She pressed a button. I said, "Oh, just grab us a drink or something," and she walked off from it.
Really?
Yeah.
With mine, it's got an automatic program for doing buttonholes.
Oh yeah.
So I've already planned about some scrap material, but it's like, can you get my glue out? Of course I can. I left it to do this buttonhole for me.
Wow.
So literally all I have to do once I'm done is come back with my picker and actually just sort of split the material where the buttonhole actually is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that'll do me.
Nice.
Mark Shallard. PE looks impressive if you have the patience and a steady hand.
I have neither.
I was just about to say that.
Didn't you get 2 busts or heads when you were in Telford?
Just the head ones, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 4.
Okay. And that included the one you finished.
Yeah.
Have you started any of the other ones?
No, not yet.
I haven't. I got my little Verlinden 4-headed little guys, the character heads. I got them prime. So
Okay.
I'm going to try to start painting them here. I need to find a better flesh tone. So I'm not sure what to use. I know a lot of people, they do layers. So they'll put one tone down and then kind of keep going over it and change it, and almost like applying makeup, I guess, to change the different hues of the skin. But the hair is going to be interesting too. I'm not really sure how to go about the hair. But they'll be good practice ones. Those kits the busts that Kenny gave away on Hobby Link International for the Christmas giveaway, those are incredible. It would be really nice to get a couple of those and practice on too.
I mean, the hair on the ones I've done, I mean, it's different scale, so it's a lot bigger what I've got. It's like, because of the detail, you're basically drawing on each hair.
Wow.
But I mean, a fantastic YouTube video I've watched is from Scale War Machines. He's the one basically that I've watched and took the advice off him, and that's how I've managed to get that head done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, brilliant. Goes in and shows you exactly how to do it. And it's just follow him straight out and brilliant. He's got some 1/35th figures on as well that he's done. And I think he even puts the eyeballs and irises.
Wow. Yeah, the eyes on these are on the Verlinden ones that I got. They almost look like they're sunken in, which is a little bizarre. So I don't know. I was going to maybe try to play with them a little bit and fill them in it so that, but it might look better if I leave them the way they're molded.
Yeah, I mean, you can always go over with like a dark wash just so it looks like shadowing over his eyes, because if it's shadowed, you're not going to see its actual eyes anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just going to nip out for a quick smoke. The coffee's gone cold again.
Yeah, I should go make a cup of coffee. I can't believe we've been on for 3 hours.
Have we really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it.
No. 3 hours and that's all I've managed to get done.
Yeah.
You're telling me. I've made more progress than you have, I think.
Yeah, I've just worked on the top half of the mast.
And Caitlin's also doing smaller bits than you.
Yeah, he's working on a fake scale.
Yeah, pretend scale.
Yeah.
Nat, did you have to work today?
No. It actually turns out I've got a month off, so I'm not impressed.
Really?
It's because where have you got my cardigan on?
I haven't. You're talking to Caitlin, stop being rude.
Where I work, it's classed as bank basis.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not contracted or anything. I only work as and when they need me.
Oh, okay.
It's as and when they need me, or generally it's as and when I can work.
Okay.
Which is brilliant, because it's like if you've got any appointments with Connor, for example,
Yeah.
there's no pressure. It's a case of, no, I can't work that day. But went in the other day and all the shifts are filled till at least the second week of February.
Wow.
So it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
It won't be too bad for the start of the month, because it's a case of I can get everything put back together after Christmas.
True.
It's not too bad, but it's just a pain, because I think for a long time this is the first job where I actually want to work.
Yeah.
And I can't at the minute.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, never mind. I'm sure once hopefully COVID starts setting and we get more residents at the care home, it'll be picking my shifts again.
Yeah. Well, it's actually kind of good to see that people actually are wanting to work, though, because that's been an issue here, is nobody wants to work.
I think it's very much people have become more picky, because rightly so, no one wants to work. Not a lot of people, I imagine, want to work in like a care home when there's COVID flying around.
True.
Never mind. Like I say, ordinarily, more hours for me.
Yeah. See if I can. I know I can install that one, but this one's going to be hard now. I might have to cut out part of this to access it. But that also is just dependent upon whether or not I want the turrets to be able to move or not. I could just glue them in permanently.
It's 11 o'clock here.
Mm-hmm.
And the dog wants to come in.
I
I said, just shut the door.
thought the dog had followed you in.
No. No, she's decided to stop out there on her own for a
Blimey.
change. So we've got a black Labrador. And it's very rare she'll go outside on her own.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Our little dog during the summer. He likes to go outside. If it's raining, he doesn't.
Yeah.
And then our big dog, she's hit or miss. A lot of times because she's a shepherd chow mix. And
Yeah.
sometimes she prefers to be outside, but then the majority of the time she thinks she's going to miss out on something in the house, so she wants to be inside. And yeah, she's always afraid she's missing out on something, and she's not, because all she does when she's inside is sleep.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, ours, if it's raining, she won't go out.
Yeah. She did like the snow, though. She loved the snow that we had.
Yeah. No, ours, she's got like a little canopy outside our back door. And we'll stand under there. If it's raining, we'll stand under there and have a smoke.
Yeah.
And she'll come and sit underneath with us.
Practically on our feet.
Yeah, she won't venture into the rain.
Very much the unique one of her litter, so we can gather, because obviously we're still in touch in essence with the breeder.
Are we?
Yes, I am.
Right.
And it's like you look at her mum and dad and some of the videos of like her litter siblings, and you can see more going for swimming, seas and lakes and this and that. Brenna will be the one that actually walks around the puddle so she doesn't have to get wet.
See, that is weird for labs, because labs usually do like water, don't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, she's definitely unique, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a boxer for a while. Unfortunately, he got bit by a brown recluse spider and on his face, and I had to put him down because it was eating away at too much flesh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And but he was funny because boxers they're typically not water dogs, and he was terrified of the water. And then when he was a pup, younger, I would take him out and try to teach him to go in the water. And finally he realized that if he was in the water, other dogs would play with him. And, you know, being in Seattle, where we're surrounded by water, all the dog parks had water. And so he actually loved it. He eventually would go in the water by himself. And that was nice to see that he eventually started enjoying the water, because at first he was terrified. He wouldn't go near it.
Yeah, no, our dog, we take her on the beach and she won't go in the sea.
Yeah.
You tried the old frisbee and ball trick, didn't you?
Yeah. The amount of balls and frisbees we lost.
So just look as if to say, well, you threw it, you get it.
I mean, she'll play with tennis balls, but your normal dog toys, she won't entertain them. So like your squeaky toys and things like that, it's like, no.
Yeah, Holly she absolutely loves her toys. So that's a good thing with her. She'll like the second she comes into the house, she always grabs a squeaky toy and wants you to play with her. Our little dog, he's getting older and he likes to play by himself. So he'll grab a toy and just sit there and squeak on it.
And we used to have, before we got Brenna, we used to have a Shih Tzu crossed with a Basset Hound.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The Shih Tzu was the mum. Don't ask. I have no idea how that one happened. But I used to go fishing quite a lot.
Yeah.
And we used to take her with us. Yes. And I can always remember Nat had her off the lead. I said, don't let her off the lead, because if she sees one of the birds, she'll go for it. And Nat was like, oh, no, she won't. I'll grab her. And
no, she was attached to the ground pole.
Oh,
she was attached to the ground pole.
Okay, well, I apologise.
Thank you.
I got that one wrong. We had a post in the ground that screwed into the ground, so we had her on that. And there was this geese that come in, and Penny, sorry, her name was, she went running after it, and I'm like, grab hold of her, and it's like, no, she's secure. All of a sudden, this post comes flying out the ground. The dog goes running after this bird. So the bird took off and landed in the lake where I was fishing. And the dog, she ran up to the edge of the lake, looked at the goose, looked at the water, looked back up at the goose, and then jumped straight in the water. It's like, no! We had a wet dog that then had to go in my car.
That's funny.
Who sold the entire time because she didn't get it?
Yeah.
One of the funniest things that ever happened with Mo, my boxer, so a lot of times I had a couple of different boats when I lived in Seattle, and one of them that was, I enjoyed taking it out on Lake Washington and just reading and stuff, and it was this little tiny 10-foot skiff, and it was a fun little fishing boat too. Like I could fish off of it and stuff, and it was a lot easier to just load that up and just go, and I would do it pretty much every weekend. And one day I went out, I took it out into the Puget Sound, and I was fishing, and all of a sudden this seal comes up to, almost right alongside, because they like to steal your fish. And so it pulls up like kind of right beside me, and Mo sees it, and so he goes to jump in the water, because I think he thought it was another dog. And the second he cleared the bulkhead, you saw him like turn his body around with sheer panic. I think he realized what he had just done, and he ended up in the water. And so like that was at the time where he was still kind of skittish about water. And so I ended up grabbing him by the harness and dragging him back into the boat. But It was the funniest. If I had that look on his face on camera, it would have been awesome because you could just see in his mind he was like, "Oh no, I just screwed up."
Yeah. Oh. Neat photo etch. It's quite a big bit, actually, to be honest.
Let's see if I can get this piece in here. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit my tweezers in there, but we'll try.
Got that bit off.
Yeah, I think when I do the Enterprise, I'm going to maybe invest in a Dremel because there's a lot of things that need to be drilled out in that.
Yeah.
The Titanic, I guess, you have a lot of people drill out the different windows and portholes on it.
Yep, that's what I'm going to be doing. The only thing with the Dremel is you got to be careful because it'll melt the plastic.
That's true. We would try it on low speed. They have somebody else makes one that does variable speed too.
Yeah. I know when I come to do the Titanic, I'm going to drill all the portholes out, but it'll all be done by hand.
Yeah. It'll take a lot of time, but it'll be worth it.
Yeah. I'm hoping to get like the Arduino board and whatnot and get it so I can have different lights on it, different times and everything.
Yeah.
So it's like someone's come out of
A
cabin,
room.
turn the lights off and whatnot.
That would be nice. Yeah. Yeah, that Queen Mary kit does look really enticing.
Oh yes.
I wish I tried to find the original Queen Mary, but
Mhm.
those kits are hard to come by.
Yeah. As long as they do them in proper scales.
Yeah, I can't remember what scale the original one was. It was I think it was a Revell kit. I'm gonna go make a cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
Okay. I would read the comments, but I can't see them. And my apprentice has disappeared. Yeah. Yeah, rubbish.
All right. Back in business.
All filled up and refreshed.
Yep. And it's warm or hot. So for the Saturday night crash, is it basically just, it depends on if you guys just, if somebody decides to do it, or how does that work? Do you guys rotate?
So there's 3 founding members, and that is James, Carl, and Steve. And basically, it's up to them. If they're able to do it, we join them. If not, it tends to get cancelled.
Yeah.
You're caught up on chat.
Yeah, it was just no one box that needed blocking.
Right.
Okay. That's good stuff.
2 minutes, Kaylin.
Huh?
Just bear with us 2 minutes.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can get it into this tiny, tiny hole. I really want to get one of those Swan and Morton scalpels.
Who, sorry?
The Swan and Morton scalpels.
Right.
It's a brand of scalpel, but I heard the blades are really nice. The number 10 blade.
Yeah. I don't know. I just get the cheap ones from the model shop. Yeah. Because I go through them like no tomorrow. I get a pack of 10 for like £1.
See, I found I'll get a pack of it, but it comes with a new handle, and the handles are garbage. But at the dollar store, they have this little pack that comes with the blades. And those blades, I burn through those really quickly. But for $1 for like 10 of them, yeah, it's not a bad deal. But my problem is I always forget to change it when I go to start trying to cut something that needs a really sharp blade on it.
Yeah, I basically don't change mine until it's completely. Basically, you could use it as a spoon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because my favorite go-to is the flat blade, like that. Oh, there.
Yeah.
I use this for chiseling stuff quite a bit, and for anything that needs to be flat. And the blade on it. That blade comes with that little dollar pack that I get at the dollar store, and it actually lasts longer and is really sharp than any other blade. And that piece is gone forever. Yeah, it's funny too, is I think my wife and I threw away a whole bunch of those CDs or,
Yeah.
So I might have some around. I'll have to try using those for cutting. I was thinking about getting a cutting board though, like a wooden board for doing certain things on. I wonder if that would work.
I think especially with photo etch, wood again, it would be a bit on the soft side. You want something that's got no give in it whatsoever.
Okay.
Purely because the photo etch is so easy to bend, and especially if you're doing like railings and stuff like that.
Yeah. I know I don't look forward to railings.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I was hoping that the Enterprise came with more photo etch than it does. I'm talking about the Star Trek Enterprise.
Yeah.
That one will be fun to light up.
Oh, yes.
I'm trying to talk Kenny. Well, see, the person that's in charge of making the boards for HobbyLink International, his name is Spencer.
Right.
Because he's the mad scientist behind it all. And so I know he has one in plan to do, but at the same time, I would really like to learn the Arduino and that programming, and then putting it onto one of the. Let me pull it up here. It was the. There's a certain chip that I found, and Alex Builds used it. Let's see if I can find it here. Yep. See, I had it open to resistors. An AT Tiny 85 microcontroller 8-pin.
Yeah.
And so I found it here in America on Jameco, Jameco Electronics on their website. And they have a few in stock, but because it's one of those microcontrollers, they're kind of hard to come by at the moment. But that's what he ended up using, and so I wanted to try to utilize that, and maybe learn how to program one of those just for the fun of it.
Yeah, I mean, my reckoning on it is, if you can master like that sort of thing, you can do it on basically anything then.
Yeah, like right now I wouldn't have the foggiest clue on how to build a desktop computer.
No.
And a lot of the parts for desktops that, or if you are building one, everything just kind of comes in a package and you put it together.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people actually do a lot of their own programming and stuff for it.
So thankfully I have a brother who's a whiz on computers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if I get stuck, it'll be like, right, can you sort this out for me? I want it to do this, I want to do that. I mean, it comes to the point where, so for my job, I have a proper truck sat nav.
Oh yeah.
And I get free lifetime upgrades for it. Like map updates.
Mm-hmm.
And it come to one month. I installed it onto the computer as I should. Then I come to put it up onto my sat nav, and it just said no, not working. So I phoned the company up. I said, right, this isn't working. There's something wrong. And they're like, oh yeah, you've not done this, or you've got to do that and the other. And it's like, we did it all, and it still weren't going on to the actual sat nav. So in the end, I turned around to my brother and says, right, can you have a look at this for me? I told him what was going on and whatnot. And the company wanted me to send my sat nav back to them, pay them 80 quid for them to install the software for me. It's like, I'm not doing that because it's free lifetime updates.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm not doing that. My brother took a look at it. It turned out someone who had programmed the update originally had missed a certain line off or something, which basically meant that the sat nav or the program was trying to look for a particular file that was there, but it was in a different file named something else. So basically the file it was looking for didn't exist. Anyway, he sent me all these screenshots of it. I sent it off to this company, and the turn says, oh, well, we'll get them to have a look at it. But in the meantime, if you do this to your computer and that to your computer, my brother says, no, you don't need to. It turned out that the company was in the wrong and messed up on the programming.
Really?
And it was all found out because of my brother. It piqued his interest, as he said.
Yeah.
He said, unlucky for them that I'm now interested in how it all works, and I'll pull it to bits until I find the cause. And he did.
That's
and then
cool.
they even said thank you for it.
Really? They should have hired him.
Yeah. But no, he works for a big lawyers firm down in London or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not short of a bob or two. But it's basically it's his hobby. So he's got a job that's his hobby.
See, that's, for the people that are able to work in a career that they really enjoy. Like for me, it was being a boat captain. I mean, there's never a day of work. It's always fun.
Yeah. Oh yes. I mean, I do enjoy lorry driving. I absolutely love it. I love just driving.
Yeah. See, I'm the opposite. I hate driving.
Yeah.
It's, I spent every day on the water, and then on my days off, I would go out on the water, and it was just me and my dog out on the boat, and I would a lot of times I'd take that little tiny boat I had. I'd just go out to the middle of Lake Washington where there's not a lot of boat traffic, and cut off the engine and just sit there and read for hours and hours.
Yeah.
Just that was my release, I guess, from the rest of the world.
Your little sanctuary where.
Yeah. And now I live in a place that I mean, we're so far away from the ocean and from the water, and there's lakes around here, but they're not easy to get to.
Yeah. I mean, we live, like I say, we live in this village / town, whatever you like to call it. And we like it because it's away from the hustle and bustle of the main town.
Mm-hmm.
Away from Skegness, the main town. And it's just nice being able to walk out your front door without everyone walking past and whatnot.
Yeah.
And because I'm antisocial and I don't like talking to people.
Yeah, my wife is actually the same way, but unfortunately for her, she has a job in which she has to communicate with people all the time, and citizens and stuff like that. And it's not her favorite thing in the world, and I don't blame her, because it's unnecessarily stressful, I guess, is what the best way to put it.
Yeah. No, I fully understand that.
For a short time, I worked for a company, and we did airport shuttles from the Olympic Peninsula. So from Forks and Port Angeles and Sequim up in the peninsula of Washington, and we would take people to the airport. And in a way, I liked certain aspects of that job, but it got to a point to where, because I mean, you'd pass accidents and truck drivers that had gone off the road and things like that, because it's a pretty decent drive from the peninsula to the airport, and then you'd hear about all these different truck driver accidents, and we weren't driving a truck, we were driving a massive Mercedes shuttle, or like the big Mercedes passenger vehicles that hold like 12 people.
Yeah, minibus type things.
Yeah. And it was definitely safer, but at the same time, you were kind of on edge sometimes. And wasn't my favorite thing, but
the one thing that winds me up on the road is if there's an accident like on the opposite side of the road, you get all your rubberneckers staring over, and it's like, come on, they're having a bad day as it is. Just get a move on and go.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to have to call it a night because Nat's moaning at me.
Alrighty.
So thank you for joining me, Kaylin.
You're welcome. That was fun. We'll have to do it again.
Yeah, you certainly got a lot more done than me. Look, he's got a whole ship there made up. Well,
not really, but
looks like a ruler.
It does.
1/700. No. But yes, thank you for joining me. And we still have 2 people watching. So,
all right.
Yeah. Well done. I mean, it is like 20 to midnight here.
Yeah.
But yes, I will say good night and thank you. That will do her bits.
All right. Thanks, everybody. And thanks for having me, Lewis.
You're welcome. More than welcome, buddy.
I will see you at some point on the Discord, I suppose.
Yep, I will be knocking about somewhere.
Alrighty. Cool. Have a good rest of the weekend.
And you, mate. Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.